Hello everyone and welcome to the third session of Hogwarts Debate. Before we begin, please don't forget to like and subscribe. The topic for this debate is whether the Golden Trio should have been sorted into different houses. We'll start with the proposition. We believe that yes, the Golden Trio should have been sorted into different houses. Let's begin with Hermione. She really should have been a Ravenclaw, and we have a lot of evidence for that. First of all, she was deemed the brightest witch of her age. She was very smart and quick thinking, which saved Harry and Ron a lot throughout the books. No one would expect the cleverest witch to be a Gryffindor. Another idea is that Hermione really likes learning. Unlike Harry and Ron, who, with exceptions, think is just a bore and they have to get through it, Hermione actually enjoys learning as a hobby. Another reason is that Ravenclaws are famous for their logic. Hermione constantly relies on logic. For example, to solve Snape's riddle in the first book, to save Harry, Ron and herself. In many occasions. As a Ravenclaw, Hermione would have also felt more comfortable and wouldn't have to drag her friends to the library. They would have done it themselves. She could have had friends who have similar interests to her and have passions for learning. If this is not enough to persuade you, I don't know what will. Next up, Ronald Weasley. We believe Harry's best friend should have been a Hufflepuff, not a Gryffindor. Here's the evidence. Ron was very loyal. He would stay with his friends till the end, with a couple of exceptions. Like in the 4th book when he abandoned Harry, or in the 7th book when he left Hermione and Harry. Also, while Hermione is the brightest witch of her age, and Harry is the famous chosen one, Ron represents the simple average wizard. Hufflepuff embraces people of all backgrounds and abilities. So Ron would fit in there. Also, while Gryffindors are known for bold and rather rash action, Hufflepuff is known for dedication and being patient. Ron is always relaxed, again with exceptions, showing that he is a true Hufflepuff and values a free lifestyle over constant high-stake competitions. The main trait of Hufflepuff is kindness, and Ron is exceptionally kind. He always shares what little he has and gives Harry the best birthday presents and Christmas presents. An example of his kindness is in the 1st book, when he sacrifices himself for Harry and Hermione to continue on and defeat Voldemort. Which they didn't, but oh well. Also his modesty. While he dreams of greatness, Ron is a modest boy who struggles with supporting Harry as the hero without demanding the spotlight for himself. Although he really wanted to be praised, he still stood by Harry's side all the time, even when it was obvious that Harry was getting all the fame, not Ron. This is a true value of a Hufflepuff. Ron is also a fierce defender of his family. He reacts instantly and aggressively whenever anyone insults his parents or his family. The best example is in the 2nd book, when he defends his friends and family from Malfoy when they were being insulted, although he paid quite a cost. Ron represents the Hufflepuff house in so many different ways. This is why, again, we believe the trio should have been sorted into different houses. And, last but not least, the boy who lived, Harry Potter. No, unlike you probably thought, we don't think Harry is a Slytherin. Just like Ron, we believe he's a Hufflepuff too. He's very loyal to Ron and Hermione and all his other friends, like Luna, Ginny and Neville. An example is when Harry refused to betray Dumbledore in the 7th book, even though Dumbledore was already dead. When the Minister for Magic accuses him angrily of being Dumbledore's man through and through, Harry proudly replies, "Yeah, I am. Glad we got that straight." He literally wears the accusation as a badge of honor, showing his loyalty to Dumbledore matters more than safety, fame, or approval by the Minister of Magic and the Ministry. Another example is that he is a reluctant hero. Unlike some Gryffindors who might seek out adventures and glory, Harry only steps into the spotlight because he has to. He would much rather live quietly, which reflects the humble nature of Helga Hufflepuff and her house. Another example of Harry's Hufflepuff traits is his will to play fairly all the time. Despite being thrown into the Triwizard Tournament against his will, which was an unfair situation, Harry constantly insists on being fair. He even tries to forfeit the Triwizard Cup in the maze so that Cedric could share the glory, showing the famous Hufflepuff spirit of fairness. So these are our reasons of why Harry, Ron, and Hermione should have been in different houses, none of them Gryffindor. Thank you for listening. Let's hand over to the opposition. We believe that the golden trio, that is to say Harry, Ron, and Hermione, should have been in Gryffindor as they were sorted by the hat. First of all, they all wanted to be Gryffindor. Yes, although Hermione may have seen the Ravenclaw, early on she was telling people how she wished she was a Gryffindor, just like Dumbledore was. She chose Gryffindor, and the sorting hat always considers your choice. Harry also asked the hat not to be Slytherin, which meant he wouldn't be fit for a Slytherin anyway, because the sorting hat made sure that you liked the house you're in. And Ron wanted to be Gryffindor because his family was Gryffindor. So all of them wanted to be Gryffindor, and this should be enough, but there's more. All of them had courage to face the unknown. Finding Horcruxes required diving into dark caves, breaking into the Ministry of Magic, and fleeing the wilderness without a plan. It demanded relentless bravery, which they had constantly. They also founded Dumbledore's army, which Harry and Hermione didn't just passively participate in their house. They had the courage to stand up for it and Dumbledore. An example of the trio's bravery was in the Gringotts break-in. Hermione literally wore the skin of her torturer, swallowing her immense fear and trauma to impersonate Bellatrix right into the heart of the Wizarding World's most secure building. Their collective bravery. When cornered by an army of security guards, they didn't surrender. They unchained a half-blind dragon, climbed onto its spiked back, and smashed through the glass ceiling into the open sky. If that's not bravery, what is? At the end of the third book, Harry didn't run away from the man who supposedly betrayed his parents. Instead, he tackled seriously, directly, physically overpowering a much older, dangerous wizard to protect his friends, even if he wasn't strong enough to fight Sirius Black. Therefore, we believe Harry, Ron, and Hermione were rightly placed in Gryffindor. Thank you for listening and watching. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to vote which side you agree with, and post your own ideas in the comments below. Thank you, goodbye, and see you in a couple of weeks.